Hi everyone. This is Alashola Omio. I believe I am live, and hold on one second, guys. I'm just trying to adjust my camera. Right. Lovely having you guys here. This is Alashola. I believe I was meant to come out at 6 o'clock. Anyway, I'm here. Today we'll be talking about one of our goddesses, Orisha, actually to be precise, in Yoruba, that is African spirituality. The Orisha that I'll be speaking about today is when you talk about the likes of Oshun, I meant female Orishas in Yoruba. This Orisha is not actually popular. To be honest with you, I don't know why that is, because she's not less she's up there with the other female goddess also. So but for whatever reason, which hopefully in time that would change, hopefully she would take her rightful place also, which is right at the top. The Orisha that I'll be speaking about today is Obba, Obba Orisha. She's a African goddess. An element is water, just like Oshun, and she was she was the first wife of Shango, that is the god of thunder. But 1 minute, just let me hold on. I hope this camera that I am connected actually. 1 minute, guys. Right, I believe I'm yes. So from what history told us, that is African spirituality. She was the first wife of Shango, that is the god of thunder, and from what we learned, she was a daughter of Obatala. That's the oldest deity, the father figure of all the other Orishas. And some said that I mean she was Oyamaya's daughter and Obatala's daughter. That's from the marriage Obatala and the Yemaja were in. But for the most popular stories that I've heard from very young, that I can come here, that I'll probably be able to speak confidently about, is from when Oba married Shango. From what happened prior to that, it wasn't there was a lot of version, just like any myth, out there. But from when she got married to Shango, that was when a story was sort of a lot more clearer, that you could sort of a lot of version, they sort of correspond, and then from there you could sort of take it forward. Anyway, so this Orisha that I'm speaking about here today, 1 minute, guys. Lovely having you guys here. Lovely having you guys here. 1 minute, guys. Please bear with me here. Right. I'm gonna put that there up there. Right. So from what she represented, home and marriage, and also the home, which would be a very devoted wife who would wait at home for her husband, just like a full housewife. These days, I don't know if people ever actually do that anymore. Well, a full housewife is that means you don't go to work. Your work is at home, tending to the home, your husband and children, which is still it's very, very hard work to do. But because of the world we live in, a lot of people don't actually appreciate that. Anyway, from what history told us, Oba, this is all she was about. Very devoted. She was to her husband, Shango, and her home and the children. They were her priority. Later on, we learned that she was also involved in the market. That means trading, and we'll get to that anyway. And then, I mean, even from what history said to us, that being a devoted wife and the stay-at-home wife. If you look at only few other female Orisha were actually like that. You see, when you talk about the like of my mother, Orisha, and not that she wasn't devoted, but to be a full as wife, she wasn't. And oh yeah, they're sort of kind of very kind of goddess. You see. And so when you look at Oba, that she was in that sense, she that was what she represented, which I believe was wonderful. Now up to today, Oba, she's still reverence paid to her in Cuba as more than the way she was celebrated. She's in Africa, because if you look at Nigeria, for example, even if you look in the Sheshe community, Sheshe means the traditionalist. There is hardly few times you will hear Oba's name mentioned. You see, and then one minute, guys, I'm just trying to see if I am, yeah, I'm still live here. So it's only with maybe if within our devotees you would they would mention her name, show Ogomosho. But within in the Isheshe circle, I mean the traditionalists, is not. I mean they probably would from time to time, but it's usually they would mention Yemaja, very popular Orisha, and Oriyoshun and Oya. They are much more popular out out there with people. Anyway, from the Obba, from what history told us, because this story, the reason why I thought I would come here today, guys, to talk about Oba is when you look at her life and the way she lived her life and what then happened in her marriage and the way everything ended up, you could sort of relate to her. Even today, that is, when our problem started, the step she took to try to rectify the problem she was having in her marriage and how that now made the situation even worse. When you look at that, and from I mean, for me personally, I could sort of relate to that. Maybe at the time in my life, a long time ago, not now, because it's almost as if you find yourself that you love somebody, and they, in turn, they don't actually really love you with the same intensity that you love them, and so therefore so the marriage was was not balanced. I don't want to say anything rude here because but at the same time, for me, I've had an experience of where I've loved somebody and they didn't love me with the same intense the way that I love them. And I've also been in a relationship where the person loved me and I wasn't really keen on them, the way they, loved me. So, but the one that I for my, present situation, my, is where you love somebody and they too loved you, back with the same intensity. And that's where you have balance. So what happened to Oba here is something that could happen to anybody, but it's now the way she went about trying to resolve the problem that now made the whole thing even worse. So I think a problem started when, as we're all aware, that Shango, it was Alaafin, I think thought Alaafin for your kingdom. Very, it was a king, very, very powerful man. And even up to today in Africa, 1 minute, uh, 1 minute, guys, women are, men are allowed to marry as, many women as, they can cope with. I mean, if you can care for them, why not? 1 minute, guy. I'm just trying to getting a bit hot here. I'm trying to see if I could. Sorry, guys. It's Abby. 1 minute, guys. It's this weather. 1 minute is baby. I know, but you know another thing. You can come in, darling. I'm still live. Come in, darling. Come in. I don't know. I'm feeling a little bit hot here.
Oh, you need the
Maybe I should put on the fan. Or I hope even if it's gonna make noise, I still
No, that's fine.
yeah. I can see what you meant by that.
Yeah.
Yeah, Bobby. Thank you, sir. Yeah, better be. Yeah. Sorry, guys. I'm just feeling a bit hot. My daughter is here helping me. Want to say hi to the
Hi guys.
That's my Abby. Thank you, baby.
Sorry, I love you.
I love you, baby. Sorry about that. I was in 1 minute. The weather here in UK, it's almost as if it's got bipolar. 1 minute it's cold and hi Toya, hi darling. Lovely having you guys here. Oh, lovely having you here. I thought okay, it's almost half 6. I was meant to come out 6 here, and then I thought look, I'm here, guys. Like I said earlier on in this video, I didn't know if you're here then, Toya. Hello, Abidemi. Lovely to have you here, my darling. Lovely having you, lovely people. Happy weekend, and I hope we're still we're quarantining ourselves. We've not been up to any happy panky games. Just joking. Lovely to have you here. The topic today we're talking about is one of our Orisha, a female goddess Orisha, and she's none other than Obba. She was first wife of Shango. But the reason why I thought I would, I mean, apart from me being Orisha's baby, I love all our Orishas. Yeah, I love them to bits, and they seem to love me also. But this particular Obba, the goddess we're talking about here today, her story is one that I'm sure we all can relate to at some point in our lives as to what happened to her, how she lived her lives and the mistakes she made, and the problems she had in her marriage, how that ended up making things even worse. And it may not be for us, it may not be a marriage. It could be maybe we are aspiring to get to a post, and then maybe you are competing with somebody. Is now the steps that we are going to take in order for us to get to that, to achieve that goal. That is, I think for me personally, that was the lesson in Obba's life for me, that no matter how we want something so badly, the steps, it's all good. I mean, I am I'm a very fairy person. I go for it. Whatever it is that I feel strongly about, I will go after it with everything I have. You see, but when you have history like one of our goddess here, Obba, you see, for me, it's almost as it's like a lesson for all of us, that even then, when we are chasing whatever it is that we are chasing, the step that we are going to take in order for us to achieve this goal, we should be very cautious, because things may just, at the end, so we don't end up losing everything, because that was exactly what happened to this goddess, this beautiful goddess here. And some people might say, oh, she's too naive. She's not stupid, not at all. From I'm still going to get there. What history told us, she's a very, very independently wealthy woman, very, very strong. In those days, for you to be a goddess, for you to even be married to someone like Shango, you can't be any weak. We're talking power here, serious power, that women that are very, very, they actually they will stand shoulder to shoulder with men of those times. When you talk about your Oshun and Obba and Oya, very, very strong. So, but the very thing that we all could get caught up in with his love. You see, you see a lot of scam these days. They will say romance scam here and there. Majority of people that are scammed, some of them they can't come out. Why? Because these people are very very smart. They are very in a position in society that if you hear how they got to be scammed, they wouldn't want people to look at them like that. That just show you that when it comes to love, we are all somehow could be vulnerable in that sense, because we all want to be loved. We all want someone that's going to accept us for our fault, whatever there is, whatever flaws we have, that will still accept us, that will love us unconditionally. I don't know if that exists anymore, but that doesn't stop us as human to still wish for that. And I believe that was exactly where this goddess was. I'm going to get to that, guys. I just so that I will give you the intro, you see, and from there we can sort of move forward. From what we had, our problem started, when our husband, she was the first wife, from what we were told, the history told us, and so when Shango now wanted to marry other women, which was nothing new in Africa, especially when you are a king, because Shango was a king, very very powerful king, Orisha Shango. And so when Shango now married Oshun and Oya, I believe that was where Obba problem started from. Initially, she didn't have any problem with that, because she thought that as soon as far as those new women coming in are able to agree that they are subordinates of her, that means they are lower than her, they will be able to give her respect, that she is the senior wife, she is in that position, and so therefore there's no problem, because at the end of the day, even if Shango didn't marry them, he's still going to have concubine all over the place anyway. So from she thought, okay, at least he's married, bring them in. He's not going to be out sneaking around, because he can't actually. That was just the tradition. I'm not here to say if it's right or wrong. That was just the way it was, what it was. You see, so but I think our problem now started from when she now found out that Shango now prefers staying with Oshun and Oya and hardly ever sees her. You see, if even when he would do come home, I mean, they all have the same compound, but they all have their different chalets, some kind of very big compound. Shango was a king, very very rich, powerful king. So you can imagine, before this woman came in, it was probably most nights, the king would come to her in a chamber, and they probably but from when this other my mother, she's already Yoshun, and the Oya came in, obviously Obba, she hardly ever sees Shango anymore, you see. And obviously anybody can feel, you can imagine how she would be feeling. She felt rejected, lonely, abandoned, you see. And because when you look at Orisha, my mother, very very beautiful, she was a good dancer. Oshun, very very powerful. Same with Oya. Oshun can cook, she can cook delicious meal. And from what we were told, Obba wasn't that blessed in that department. And we know men. I'm not sorry, guys. You guys here, my fathers. I'm not taking a dig at you guys. Hi, George. Lovely to have you here, baby. Oh, lovely girl, darling. Talking about you guys. That if a woman can satisfy your man, what goes on here, and that thing underneath, and do it successfully, that woman is sorry, I'm just being, I don't know, I could see her showing me coming out now, 1 minute. Anyway, from what history told us, Oshun, she was a very good cook, very very beautiful woman. She's very very independent, Same with Oya. Now, when you look at that, and you see your husband changing in front of that, you hardly ever sees him anymore. He hardly ever even come check on you, apart from hello, hi, the kids, everything's okay, yeah, take care, sweetheart, bye, and then you see him dashing up to the other two. You can imagine how she would I can just imagine. Actually, back home in Africa, in my younger days, when I first had this story about, this, I cried the first time I heard it. I was like, I just felt that day. I felt so sad for her. That, oh, come on. If you now see this, the length she went to try to regain the attention of her husband, to draw her husband back to her, to make him love her more. It was just so sad, you see, that I, even now when I think about it, I still feel a little bit, that I felt for her. Anyway, what then happened was that Obba thought that, okay, if Shango was going to marry Oshun, or as many wives as he wanted, being a king, a very powerful man, you can't tell him what to do, you can't order him around. At least if he's bringing them to the house, and if those women are ready to be subordinate, that is, they're ready to accept that they are lower rank, so, and give her that respect, then she hasn't got any problem. But we know Oshun and Oya, if there's anything about being subordinate, Oshun is never going to have that. Oya is never going to be subordinate to anybody. You see, these women are, I'm talking a very powerful, very independent. They are, they are warrior in their own right. They have their own business. They have their power. You see, and them coming to marry somebody, no matter who that person is, it can be Shango or any other king. They don't think they have to now stood low because to somebody. No way. They were not going to play that. So that started as a first problem for Obba, because the new wives are not ready to be subordinate to her or to anyone for that matter. Anyway, and then another thing was Shango now prefer going to them. From what history told us, Shango particularly was in love with Oshun, because it's only Oshun that she would, she can cook, she can do this, da. Do you find that Oya has Aquarius? Oh, you might be right, darling. Yeah. Oh yeah. Our water is our element is water also. I'll come to that. There's a river in Nigeria actually, that is, that's a river, like just like we have Oshun river in Osogbo, we have Obba in Ogbomoso, that's dedicated to her, because I will tell you, at the end of her life, she now, went down, because these people were talking, they have power, and turned into a river, and that was how she ended her life. I don't want to jump here, guys. So from there on, she had this problem. From what we were told, it was either Oshun or Oya. This is something that the version here from when Obba had a problem. We had 3 versions, but the one that is most popular, the one that I could sort of relate with, the one that is, I believe, I'll come to that. I'll break down the 3 also. The first one was that, according to Ifa, you see, the Ifa priest back home in Africa, majority of the time, I'm not saying they're not right, don't get me wrong, but when it comes to Orunmila, they always want to say, oh, Orunmila married all the goddesses, Orunmila was bigger than Olokun. You see, just to, the same thing with this version, the first version. According to Ifa tradition, that is the traditional religious system of Yoruba. It says that Obba cut off her ears, one of her hair, at the advice of Ifa, and her bodily sacrifice successfully tied Shango to her. Until, so here they are saying that because the version was she cut off her ears to cook, to make some food for Shango, thinking Shango will love her. But these people they are saying that, okay, the reason why they're not saying she didn't cut off her ear, they said she did that because she wanted to use that sacrifice to tie Shango, that's her husband, to her forever and ever. And then later on, after she's done that sacrifice, now Orunmila now stole her from Shango. Come on, I mean, maybe just me, that don't make no sense to me. Anyway, the second one version was that he explained that Obba self-mutilation of both ears, she called both our ears, was an effort to feed Shango after the household ran out of goat meat. I mean, come on now. So because you want to we're talking about Shango, very rich. He was a king. Oya too, so because they ran out of goat meat in the house, so the next thing she's going to get scissors and cut off both her ears to cook for her husband. Come on, that for me that just sounds so dumb. Anyway, that was the second version, but the third and the most common version, which I believe was what happened, and then which we could all sort of relate to today, like I said earlier on, that it's all good when you listen to this. Oh, how can she be so stupid? Or your rival, or your what do you call them? What's that word? The same woman that you married the same husband, your mate advise you to do this and you do that. Obviously, you should know that she's not going to tell you something that's, are you that dumb? Look, it's also good for us sitting down here today to say that. I'm not going to say that, because I can, that was why I started that. When it comes to something that we all wanted so badly in our lives, it could be, say for example, someone that's looking for a child, and they've been looking for the past 10 years. It could be a man or a woman, and someone said, look, this concussion here, if you just eat this with that, blah blah blah, you meet with your husband or your wife, it's going to happen, even though you don't know what they put in there. But we're talking about after 10 years of searching, of looking, at that point most people are probably desperate, and they will try anything just to, because they're yearning for that thing so badly. Same thing here, from what history told us about Obba. From this version, it says that Obba cut off her ear, one, to serve to her husband, while Shango as food. That is after taking advice from either Oshun or Oya, thinking that this will draw Shango's attention and love to her. Once Shango saw the ears and realized Obba has mutilated herself, Shango was appalled and disgusted. I can just imagine that. Now he chased Obba from his house and into permanent exile. You see, so because only God knows how many days she has been seeing her husband, coming back from wherever he went, and not even glancing one time to where she was with her children, or just seeing him dashing to the other two. I'm not going to say because Orisha is my mom. I'm just going to say it the way it is. Just dashing to my mom's chamber or to Oya's chamber, and maybe just seeing her once in a while, and even then he say, "Oh, Tara, you're right, bye. I see, yeah. How the kids doing?" And then he's gone. You can imagine at that point she was there, but she now took advice. I think that was where some people may say, okay, come on now, unless you're stupid, how are you going to be taking advice from your rival, the very person that is competing with you for the attention of your husband? Obviously she's not going to give you the, she's going to tell you something that is going to make you to fail. Anyway, she went to Oshun, the Obba or Oya, from what history told us, and asked her that, look, what is it that that our husband is doing, that is it the cooking? And then I think what they said, Oshun or Oya told her that what you are going to do to get his attention, because that's what I have been doing, was that you will cut one of your ears. You just cut one off, and there was one that said you will cook it with stew, cook it like blah blah blah, and then once he sees that, oh, that's all, Shango will never leave. In fact, he hardly ever even come to her anymore. That was the secret, blah blah blah. And then from what history also told us, Obba went ahead. Can you imagine how so much pain she would be to get a scissors or whatever she's used to cut off one of her ears? Hi darling, you're right, Bruja Linda, lovely seeing you, baby. I hope you guys in New York are doing okay. Please stay safe, guys. Anyway, as I was saying, that you can imagine the pain, but she went ahead and cut off one of her ears, or was it both? She cut off, and She made this stew, and then Shango, don't forget, he hardly ever even come to her anymore. So it was one of the time that he will come and do his husband duty. They call it just duty, that maybe, maybe you go there, just sleep with her maybe once in 2 weeks, so that, because that is how in Africa, when you have a lot of wives, that is part of the condition, that you're going to be giving them attention. You're not just going to abandon that. You're going to love them equally. We know that's not possible. Definitely he would have a favorite I mean, no matter, I don't care if they're 10 or 20. So this was the situation with Shango, but because of the tradition, that he still has to go to Obba. It could be maybe once in a month. That is just to mark a register, just the duty. It wasn't because of affection. It was not because of love. It was not because I miss you, I'm home, see her. It wasn't about that. It was just, hi darling, how are the kids? Yeah, how's everything? Maybe bang bang bang, and that probably would have been it. Anyway, it was one of his visits, rare visit, that he will come to Obba. That Obba cooked this stew, went to the extent of cutting one of her ears in pain, cooked it, and then when Shango came, and then opened this dish and saw, is it one ear or two floating on the stew, you can imagine the horror. And then saw Obba in bandage, covering the scar where she's cut herself. From what we had, Shango became appalled, and he was disgusted. Was totally, and that day obviously it was now as if Obba was trying to poison him. It wasn't more about love. It was nothing come to love there anymore. So from that on, Shango now did what? He drove her out of his kingdom, banned her to permanent exile. He didn't ever want to see her anymore. She's never to come to that was it. And from what we heard, Obba went to her father Obatala and told what happened, and then asked her father's permission, that because of the shame was too much, there's nothing there for her to live for. So there's this the goddess back in those days, they have power. Then instead of them to die just like any mortal, they can become like a stone where people would now worship them, which was what Obba turned into. There's a river in Ogbomoso today. That was where Obba went down. It was there she went down and then turned to this stream, river, big river actually. So up to today is there in Nigeria. That there's no point for her, there's nothing to live for. The very person she's done all that, drove her, there's no reason there's to be here. So when you think about that, it's sort of sad. And also I think today we all can learn from what happened to Obba, this beautiful goddess. She was gullible, yes, but Obba she was not submissive, she was not stupid or passive. She's an extremely competent, independent market woman involved in commerce and politics. Obba is a powerful Orisha who can provide for her devotees. She is Shango's first wife because he married her because she was beautiful. I mean, don't let us forget Shango now here. Because in my Odufa, him and Ishuda, my father, Shango, he will not settle for anything that's, no. For him to even marry her in the first place, come on. So she was powerful. She was all of this in her own right. Shango's first wife. She's beautiful, independently wealthy, and smart. The wealth she had, the power, it was all hers. Her father was Obatala, so she came from a very big family, very very well-to-do. Obatala was the first Orisha. So you can imagine, in an attempt to assert her love, her rights. I'm the first wife, no one's going to push me to the background, I'm going to be there, this is my love. He was, how can he just not love me like that? No, I'm going to do try to get his attention, get back what they once had. And then she made the biggest mistake, and her biggest weakness was love. There was nothing else. In every area of Obba's life, she was up there, standard, solid. But the only flaw she had was the love she had for Shango, and then the way she went about trying to assert herself, trying to get control or get attention of her husband, and the way she went about it. She was so desperate, and that was her downfall. You see, and when we all hear this, and then some people may say, oh, how can you be so stupid? I would never say that to Obba, because it's only when you have never loved before in your life, that's when you can say that. It's only like I said at the beginning of this video, in my younger days, I have been in love with a man that didn't even love me half of the way that I loved him. And also I have been in a relationship with a man that loved me, and I wasn't so keen on him. And now I'm with Orisha Olokun, and so that's therefore I can come here and say that the best love is when you find somebody that loves you with the same intensity that you love them. Then you have balance. That's balance. It's not one like that or the other way. It's balance. That is where one could say, oh, love is beautiful. Love is if you hear Obba, I'm sure if she was opportune to be here, you ask her love, she won't say love is beautiful. She will say love is painful. You can imagine someone to go to the extent of cutting her ears, one of the ears, to make stew, come on. We're talking about very rich, very powerful, very independent Orisha. She's still a goddess up to today. You see. So when we look at that, I think the lesson that I learned from Obba was, whatever it is that we want to achieve in our life, it could be position of we want to aspire to be this or that. It could be in relationship also. It's now we should be cautious of the steps that we are taking in order for us to achieve this goal, so that at the end is worthwhile. Because when you look at Obba, she lost the love she was craving, she lost her life, and up to today we are here today telling that story. You see. So for me, that was a big lesson for me. Like I said, I the first time I had this Obba was in Africa. I was very, very young. The first day I cried that day. Why? I think for me was, I just thought, oh, this is not fair. Obviously life is not fair. But what happened? It happened. But it's like, oh, it's not fair. How could she be treated like that? Oh God! I remember I probably was around 8 years old or something. Back home in Africa, I was, how can they do that to Obba? Oh no, this is not fair. Shango should know that she loves him. That's why she done that. Obviously, I was a child. You see, but real life is not like that, and you can't blame Shango also, because you'll be thinking, hold on here, a woman that could go to the extent of cutting one of her blah blah blah, she's trying to poison him. Maybe because she's thinking that, oh, if I can't have you, no one else will have you. Maybe that was why she want to kill him. So, you see. Oh, hello, Khalil. Oh, Juma, how are you, darling? Lovely to have you, beautiful people here. Oh, my God. I hope maybe you're going to try and watch the video from we said a lot in this video. I know you love your goddesses in Africa, and you probably would want to have you know her story already. Is goddess Obba, and I'm going to, there's some characteristic here of Obba's children. If this struck a chord with you or sort of resonates with you, you might want to do more research. Basically the reason why I do this is, the more you know of yourself, the better your life is, more fulfilled. The more you know of who you are or who we are, the more we can be the best. Because when there was one of my video that I said, instead of us I have gained this degree, I want to be a PhD of this, I want to be this and that. How many guys? Pardon me. I want to be this, I want to be that. I think the first thing we ought to study first is ourselves. Who am I? What make me tick? What do I like? Why do I do what I do? Where do I get that from? Once we are able to decode ourselves, anything outside of us is easy like that. You see, because everything we're going to be in our life, to be the best we can be, is all within us. But so, and then how are you going to do that? It's hard work, because most of the time we don't want to be alone. But that's the best when we can get the best of us. You see. So if I'm going to say some of our traits here, and if that's tried a chord with any of you, you can do more research, read books, and just try and get closer to this Orisha. Very, very loving Orisha, very powerful. Our only flaw was love. That was it. Nothing else. Everything else fantastic. Up there. You see. These children of Obba, they are usually very strong and courageous warriors who are willing to fight for love or whatever they believe in. They will fight. They will do anything. You see. Very, very courageous. They are warriors. They will go to any length. They are not afraid. They are very brave. They will go to any length. They will, that's their traits. That also they can be emotional. They get jealous. You guys, well, maybe who would love his woman with seeing her with another man, or your man with another woman. But this group of people, they are more, their own jealousy is on the high scale, as in up there. So, and most times they get to deal with failed relationship. That is, well, I would be in the days that we live in now. I think it will be hard to see one person that hasn't got one failed relationship under their belt. I've got I lost count. It was when I now got married to Olokun. That's when I'm at peace now. But prior to that, I can't count. Don't forget I'm a Shango's daughter. So one relationship is not. I even get bored with it. It's not what it is. I'm off like that, and I'm not. I promise that I'm not going to another man. I just want to be by myself. You see, so, but this group of people, they are very, very devoted. In their relationship, they are ready to fight for what they believe in, and they will fight with everything they have. Also, they are very forgiving. Very forgiving. They make selfless sacrifice for others. They are ready to go without in order to look after the people they love in their lives. They are ready to starve. They are ready to go without clothes. They are ready to do anything just so to provide for their loved ones. Instead of, they will go without anything. They will deny themselves just to look after the people they love, they hold so dear in their life. These are some of the traits, characteristics of these Obbas children. Like I said, if you strike a chord with you, you will do more research. That's why I always read books. The internet is really good these days. That there's hardly, you go there, you just want to, find you. It's, for me, the journey at the beginning wasn't so easy. But today I can say, because of that, no one is going to tell me who I am. I know who I am. I know why I'm here. I know what I'm here to come and do. And so I have, that way it makes me, gives me more peace of mind. My life more sort of organized, more focused, more grounded, because I know the goal. I know why I'm here. And so every day, I'm awake. I'm continually pursuing that goal. I'm continually. Maybe at night I'm tired, I rest my head, I wake up the following day, and I'll get on my horse, and I'll continue my journey, you see. So it's always good like that. But there was a time in my life that I didn't know, what it was. It was a confusing time, a very sad time in my life, I when I think back then, I even feel sorry for the girl I was, but that's why we are all here, to learn from each other, to rub minds, to research more into our ancestors, because either we like it or not, we are linked to them. Without them, there's no us. It's like, say, a child saying, "Oh, my dad is not my dad, my mom is not." Then who the hell are you? That child is going to suffer. whether we like it or not. Because it's when you now go close to your mom, those are some stuff that you do. Oh, because my mom do that. There's some trait, there's some way we make some, even our mannerism, the way we talk sometimes, when you look at the parents, oh my God, just like his dad, just like his mom, and this is how, and those are just small traits. There are some bigger ones also, that we, until we decode that, life is, it can be unbearable. You see, guys, so that's what we're going to be talking about here today. I love talking about our Orishas. Each and every time I just feel they you just sort of imagine the way they live their lives, and what, and I'm sure all of the hard work they did, their legacy, what they left us, was for us. We should continue there also, to be, to hold it up, to celebrate them, be there, they just blow their celebrate, blow their trumpets. They are looking up to us to do that. Why do we have kids in this world? It's so that when we passed on, the world will not forget us, isn't it? I'm sure our ancestors, they'll be, so guys, let's continue to do this more. Let's rub mind more with, more topics you want me to talk about. Just inbox me, or you can write it there, guys. We'll come here and we'll talk about it. And then the more we do that, our life more peaceful. There's so many things, like I always say to you guys, the herbs we have, the roots, all of them, the stones, they are all here. The universe has put them here. Whatever it is that we're going to become or wanted to be in life, it's all, around us. Now, if we are not able to see that, then it has nothing to do with the universe. And some people say, I don't use herbs. Then you can continue to suffer. It's got nothing to do with anyone. You see? Because they are just, that's nature. We are nature. We're all one. And then if they're going to listen to some religion that's going to tell them, hey, don't drink herbs, it's evil, it's what nonsense is that? It's like someone said, don't breathe. Don't drink water. Come on. That's why sometimes when I hear something like, come on, even someone said that to you, don't you have any brain in your, like 2 brain cells at least, to sort of work it out that you're not harming anyone? The plants, they're all there to for us to look after each other, and what's bad in that? You see, look at what's happening now with COVID outbreak. You can see it's like a way of nature taking back what belongs, like telling all of us to peace off. I want to recover, just get the hell out of my face. I've had enough. It's taking back what and she's trying to assert herself that, look, I can always claim back what's mine anytime I want. I can always tell you guys to get the hell out of my face. But that's what she's doing now, literally. Like, just get out for now. You see, that the power belongs to her. It's nature, either we like it or not. You see. And there's this proverb in Yoruba that says that our yawa isheshewani, that your father or your mother, they are our foundation. That's where we start. A river that lose contact with the source will always dry up. It's when you remain, that channel of that water going from the big one back and forth, then the small one will, it would always, before you know it, become big also. But when you just think, I don't need that big one anymore, panga, you there's a cut, then you're gonna see very soon it will dry up. It will become like nothing, ordinary sand. You see. So let's, guys, it's wonderful each and every time that I come here and see you guys. Always fun time for me. Or when I'm on Alashola on Facebook and I see you lovely people, it's always wonderful time for me. I love you guys so much. As you guys are aware, my website is open now. The address is at the bottom of this video. And you can go in there. What's happening is that a lot more products are being added every day. Because I have the first thing that I first put there was the Orishas, and then the divination and the herbs. But then everything spiritual, whatever it is, original, authentic from Africa, is going to be there on Alashola. It's 100% pure, all come with certificates, it's guaranteed. You see, I just thought, look, that's my own way. That's what the universe want me to do, the healing. And then since I've been on this path, to be honest with you, I can't. There's no regret for me. Every day is like Christmas. I feel I wake up every day at peace, and I ask the universe, what shall I do today? Should we go? Should we do herbs? Should we do stones? Should we do oil? It's just wonderful, guys. I love you guys. Please, let's stay safe. Let's continue to observe the what the precaution they've given us. Social distancing. Isolation. And quarantine. Whatever. It's not going to be forever. But for the time being, and if you have to go to work, make sure that you. Toya, I know you do go to work, but I know the universe will continue to protect you and the rest of us, all of us. And then while we're there, we take the necessary precaution, and then we'll be fine. And this time, this too it will end. This too, it will soon pass. It is not forever. But for that time being, let's just obey what the, adhere to what government is advising us. It's for our own good. And see, and don't forget, most of us, we have family, we have children, we have husband, we have friends. We are out there. We don't, you think about, it's not only about us. It's all about our loved ones. So let's be careful, guys. Let's, because all the precautions that are out there. Then just it's not. No. Please, life is too precious. As with all its up and down, life is still what is worth living. Trust me, guys. It's beautiful. So that's all we're going to be talking about here, my beautiful, lovely people. And I hope that you enjoy the rest of your weekend. And hopefully I'll be able to come out next Saturday. If I don't, there will be upper Saturday. Because the reason why, my website, I'm still loading a lot of product there. And that's why I'm not, if you see me not doing every other weekend, it's because of the work that I'm still doing on the website. You see, because I get to load all of that product myself. The company that actually set up, they wanted to load some of, because they don't understand. I'm not what we are selling there is not like cookie or biscuits. It's they're all spiritual stuff. There's stuff that it's not just anybody that has the knowledge of what they do. So most of the product, I have to be the one. They have to write it. All the write up what they do, description, blah blah blah. I wrote everything up. So it's quite a lot, and that's why I'm not be coming out every weekend. Hopefully by the time the website, all the products are fully loaded there, then it will be every weekend like we always do in the past. You see, when I don't come out, I miss you guys too. You just want to come out and play like we always do. So I love you guys. Enjoy the rest of your weekend. I love you. I love you. I love you. Bye bye.